Hello, hello, and welcome to the Gothic Jungle. So, I recently watched the new horror movie Nosferatu, directed by Robert Eggers, and I absolutely loved it. It was wonderfully weird, and I love the original story of Dracula. I actually have a copy of the book here, the fancy Barnes & Noble version, of course. But the original Nosferatu basically ripped off that story, but don't worry, Bram Stoker's wife got revenge in the end. But I was very excited to see a new interpretation of the story. Also, I was particularly excited to see the costumes, so that was really, really wonderful as well. But anyways, the point of this video is that I would like to discuss the symbolism of the lilacs in the movie, since they appeared so many times throughout the film and are even featured in the movie poster. So, let's get started. The meanings and symbolism of flowers were a very prominent topic in the Victorian era. I actually learned a little bit about this when I visited the New York Botanical Garden during the Alice in Wonderland exhibit, because her story also takes place during the Victorian era. Anyways, lilacs are typically associated with youth and innocence, young love, and first love, and they are one of the first flowers to bloom in spring, which is probably why they earned these associations. We first see lilacs when Thomas gives a bouquet to Ellen after learning that he must take a long journey to Count Orlok's castle. Ellen is less than happy to receive these. This can be interpreted as her frustration and distraughtness of the innocence and youth that the people around her, including Thomas, project onto her instead of listening to her and taking her seriously when she mentions her terrible nightmares or her closeness to the occult that is really, really weighing on her soul. An additional interpretation that might be a little bit more digestible or surface level is that their young love is fated to die throughout this story. This additional interpretation also makes sense with Ellen's reaction, because she doesn't want her love to die with Thomas. She wants to keep Thomas in her life, and she wants to keep the light that he's brought and the comfort that he's brought with her throughout her life. She doesn't want to let it go, and she doesn't want to have to face that darkness again without Thomas. Additionally, later on in the film, Ellen wears a lilac gown and wears lilac in her hair. Count Orlok notes that he smells the lilac in the locket that Ellen gives to Thomas before he leaves. So I think she was wearing lilacs in her hair, and later on in the night she cut off a piece of her hair to put in a locket for Thomas. Lilacs are native to Eastern Europe, where Count Orlok is from, so that might explain his positive association with them, as well as this scent making him think of Ellen. In the last few scenes of the film, we see Ellen wearing lilacs in her hair as she waits for Orlok and waits to sacrifice herself. This can be interpreted as her anticipation of loss of future youth and her loss of her first love. Additionally, in the final scene of the film, we see Willem Dafoe's character, I don't remember his name, surrounding Ellen and Orlok's body at the end of the film to mourn this loss of her youth and sacrifice, and for Thomas to mourn his first love. The lilac also could have been used as a final protection to ward off the evil of Nosferatu, as they have also symbolically been used for purification from evil and symbolize the closure of his terror on the world. So those are my interpretations of lilacs in the film. Let me know if you have any other interpretations of symbolism and things that you noticed in this film. I also really liked the symbolism that I picked up on with Ellen being the cat and Nosferatu being all of the rats, and the cat winning in the end. I liked the end scene where Willem Dafoe kind of picked up the cat at the end, kind of symbolizing that Ellen had won and, saved them all from the terrible plague of Nosferatu. But again, I really enjoyed the movie. I thought it was wonderful. If you are a fan of horror movies, please go see it. But yeah. That is all I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I will see you guys soon. Alright, video's over now. Bye!